Monday. We're here. Another week has started. Look at little Rahur Kuwait here. I've got little Rahur Kuwait, or little Horus, the Avenger, because we're reading the third chapter of the Book of the Law today in our reading of the Magick of Aleister Crowley. This is a wild chapter for sure. I posted a YouTube video of a documentary that I was part of where I described how I burned my first copy of the Book of the Law immediately after reading this third chapter. And it's the one that truly gives Crowley apologists fits trying to explain to people, I guess, the unexplainable. Nevertheless, I want you to think about this. The book of the Revelation of John, the last book of the Christian New Testament, has been seen as a prophecy of the end of the world or the end of the age for nearly 2,000 years or over 2,000 years. And but when it comes right down to it, the literary reality of the writing of the book of John was an actual person sat down on the Isle of Patmos, the psychedelic mushroom-rich Isle of Patmos, and wrote down a mystical vision that that individual had concerning the end of the age. And it has been interpreted and misinterpreted and misapplied monstrously over the years as if it was an objective textbook of some kind of cinematic, nightmarish, dramatic end of a non-Christian worldview. And originally was nothing of the sort. And modern scholars are almost universal in their opinions that it was sort of a mystical retelling or a telling of the political realities of the day, which culminated in the destruction of Jerusalem in around 72 A.D. and the dispersion of the Jewish population. So it had very practical geopolitical relevance in the day. We have to remember that on April 8th, 9th, and 10th, 1904, in Cairo, Egypt, the geopolitical situation in the world was much, much different than it is right now. This was before World War I. It was before World War II or the A-bomb or any of that. It was the end of the 19th century. It was steam-powered. It was steampunk. And humanity's sense of reality was shifting with breathtaking speed. We were becoming cognizant of our place in the universe. We were becoming cognizant of our place in the solar system. Physics, chemistry, mathematics was all changing rapidly and expanding the consciousness of the human race. Seen in prophetic terms, in the same way that John, the divine, was seeing things prophetically, or that the ancient prophets, Isaiah, commenting on his geopolitical realities of the day and putting it in mystical, prophetic, and spiritual terms. Standing at the brink of the Holocaust, standing at the brink of World War I, the bloodiest world conflict ever. And the idea that the old age, the old Christian formula age, the age of Osiris, was crumbling before everybody's eyes. And that the new revolt, the new childish revolt of the son against the father's old formula was about to take place. When I first discussed the 3rd chapter with Israel Regardie, he said, "My God, boy, look at the world around you. We're children. We're violent children. Children are violent. They're cruel. They're also beautiful and full of all the potential of humankind. They just have to grow up." So when we wonder why the God, the child God that was taking over in 1904, why they were a little bit childish and crabby and violent, then we must put that in perspective as we listen to all of this tumbling through Crowley's mind in perhaps the most fragmented and confused of the 3 chapters. One other thing I'll comment. Remember when I read the paraphrase of the front and back of the stele of Revealing? Much of those verses have been inserted into the dictated text of the 3rd chapter mostly, and added later at Rose's instructions. So in other words, when we break into verse in the 3rd chapter of the Book of the Law, we're not hearing what Crowley heard in his ear while he was writing it down, but how Rose, as his magical partner here, later said, stick that verse in right here, or stick that verse in right here. And if you look at the facsimile, the handwritten facsimile of the Book of the Law, you'll easily see where all of that occurred. Now that being said, here we go. Abrahadabra, the reward of Ra Hur Kut. There is division hither homeward, there is a word not known. Spelling is defunct, all is not aught. Beware, hold, raise the spell of Ra Hur Kuit. Now let it first be understood that I am a god of war and of vengeance. I shall deal hardly with them. Choose ye an island, fortify it. Dung it about with enginery of war. I will give you a war engine. With it ye shall smite the peoples, and none shall stand before you. Lurk, withdraw, upon them. This is the law of the battle of conquest. Thus shall my worship be about my secret house. Get the stele of Revealing itself, set it in thy secret temple, and that temple is already aright disposed. And it shall be your Qibla forever. It shall not fade, but miraculous color shall come back to it day after day. Close it in locked glass for a proof to the world. This shall be your only proof. I forbid argument. Conquer, that is enough. I will make easy to you the abstruction from the ill-ordered house in the victorious city. Thou shalt thyself convey it with worship, O prophet, though thou likest it not. Thou shalt have danger and trouble. Rahurku is with thee. Worship me with fire and blood. Worship me with swords and spears. Let the woman be girt with a sword before me. Let blood flow to my name. Trample down the heathen. Be upon them, O warrior. I will give you of their flesh to eat. Sacrifice cattle, little and big, after a child. But not now. Ye shall see that hour, O blessed beast, and thou the scarlet concubine of his desire. Ye shall be sad thereof. Deem not too eagerly to catch the promises. Fear not to undergo the curses. Ye, even ye, know not this meaning all. Fear not at all. Fear neither men, nor fates, nor gods, nor anything. Money fear not, nor laughter of the folk folly, or any other power in heaven or upon the earth or under the earth. Nu is your refuge, as Hadit your light. And I am the strength, force, vigor of your arms. Mercy let be off, damn them who pity, kill and torture, spare not, be upon them. That stele they shall call the abomination of desolation. Count well its name, and it shall be to you as 718. Why? Because of the fall of because, that he is not there again. Set up my image in the east. Thou shalt buy thee an image, which I will show you, a special, not unlike the one thou knowest, and it shall be suddenly easy for thee to do this. The other images group round me to support me. Let all be worshipped, for they shall cluster to exalt me. I am the visible object of worship. The others are secret. For the beast and his bride are they, and for the winners of the ordeal X. What is this? Thou shalt know. For perfume mix meal and honey, and thick leavings of red wine, then oil of a bromelain and olive oil, and afterwards soften and smooth down with rich, fresh blood. The best blood is of the moon, monthly. Then the fresh blood of a child, or the dropping from the host of heaven, then of enemies, then of the priest or of the worshippers, last of some beast, no matter what. This burn. Of this make cakes, and eat unto me. This hath also another use. Let it be laid before me and kept thick with the perfumes of your orison. It shall become full of beetles, as it were, and creeping things sacred unto me. These slay, naming your enemies, and they shall fall before you. Also, These shall breed lust and power of lust in you at the eating thereof. Also ye shall be strong in war. Moreover, be they kept long, it is better, for they swell with my force, all before me. My altar is of open brasswork. Burn thereon in silver or gold. There cometh a rich man from the west, who shall pour his gold upon thee. From gold forge steel. Be ready to fly or to smite. But your holy place shall be untouched throughout the centuries. Though with fire and sword it be burnt down and shattered, yet an invisible house there standeth, and shall stand until the fall of the great equinox, when Hrumachis shall arise, and the double-wanded one assume my throne and place. Another prophet shall arise, and bring fresh fever from the skies. Another woman shall awake the lust and worship of the snake. Another soul of God and beast shall mingle in the globed priest. Another sacrifice shall stain the tomb. Another king shall reign, and blessing no longer be poured to the hawk-headed mystical Lord. The half of the word of Heru Ra-Ha, called Hur Par Krat and Ra-Hur Kut. Then said the prophet unto the god, and this is one of those verses, I adore thee in the song. I am the Lord of Thebes, and I, the inspired fourth speaker of Mentu. For me unveils the veiled sky, the self-slain Ankh-Of Nakansu, whose words are truth. I invoke, I greet thy presence, O Rahur Kuit. Unity uttermost showed, I adore the might of thy breath, supreme and terrible God, who makest the gods and death to tremble before thee. I adore thee. Appear on the throne of Ra. Open the ways of the Ku. Lighten the ways of the Ka. The ways of the Kabs runs through to stir me or still me. Aum. Let it kill me. Back into the dictation. So that thy light is in me, and its red flame is as a sword in my hand to push thy order, there is a secret door that I shall make to establish thy way in all the quarters. These are the adorations, as it is written, as it is said. The insertion again, back to the stele. The light is mine, its rays consume me. I have made a secret door into the house of Ra and tomb of Kefra and Ahithor. I am thy Theban, O Mentu, the prophet, Ankh-Of Nakansu. By best Namaut my breast I beat. By wise Tanik I weave my spell. Show thy star splendor, O Nuit. Bid me within thine house to dwell. O winged snake of light, Hadit, abide with me, Rahur Kuit. Back into the dictated text. All this in a book to say how thou didst come hither, in a reproduction of this ink and paper forever. For in it is the word secret, and not only in the English. And thy comment upon this book of the law shall be printed beautifully in red ink and black upon beautiful paper made by hand. And to each man and woman that thou meetest, were it but to dine or to drink at them, it is the law to give. Then they shall chance to abide in this bliss, or no, it is no odds. Do this quickly. But the work of the comment That is easy. And hadith burning in thy heart shall make swift and secure thy pen. Establish at thy Kaaba a clerk house. All must be done well with business way. The ordeals thou shalt oversee thyself, save only the blind ones. Refuse none. But thou shalt know and destroy the traitors. I am Rahur Kuwait, and I am powerful to protect my servant. Success is thy proof. Argue not. Convert not. Talk not overmuch. Them that seek to entrap thee, to overthrow thee, them attack without pity or quarter, and destroy them utterly. Swift as a trodden serpent, turn and strike. Be thou yet deadlier than he. Drag down their souls to awful torment. Laugh at their fear, spit upon them. Let the scarlet woman beware. If pity and compassion and tenderness visit her heart, if she leave my work to toy with old sweetnesses, then shall my vengeance be known. I will slay me her child. I will alienate her heart. I will cast her out from men as a shrinking and despised harlot. Shall she crawl through dusk-wet streets and die cold and an-hungered. But let her raise herself in pride. Let her follow me in my way. Let her work the work of wickedness. Let her kill her heart. Let her be loud and adulterous. Let her be covered with jewels and rich garments, and let her be shameless before all men. Then will I lift her to pinnacles of power. Then will I breed from her a child mightier than all the kings of the earth. I will fill her with joy. With my force shall she see and strike at the worship of Nu. She shall achieve Hadith. I am the warrior lord of the 40s. The 80s cower before me and are abase. I will bring you to victory and joy. I will be at your arms in battle, and ye shall delight to slay. Success is your proof, courage is your armor. Go on in my strength, and ye shall not turn back for any. This book shall be translated into all tongues, but always with the original in the writing of the beast, for in the chance shape of letters in their position to one another. In these are mysteries that no beast shall divine. Let him not seek to try. But one cometh after him, whence I say not, who shall discover the key of it all. Then this line drawn is a key. Then this circle squared in its failure is a key also. And abrahadabra. It shall be his child, and that strangely. Let him not seek after this, for thereby alone can he fall from it. Now this mystery of letters is done, and I want to go on to the holier place. I am in a secret fourfold word, the blasphemy against all gods of men. Curse them, curse them, curse them. With my hawk's head, I peck at the eyes of Jesus as he hangs upon the cross. I flap my wings in the face of Muhammad and blind him. With my claws, I tear out the flesh of the Indian, the Buddhist, the Mongol, and Din. Balasti, Umpeda, I spit on your crapulous creeds. Let Mary and Violet be torn upon wheels, For her sake, let all chaste women be utterly despised among you. Also, for beauty's sake and loves. Despise all cowards, professional soldiers who dare not fight but play, all fools despise. But the keen and the proud, the royal and the lofty, ye are brothers, as brothers fight ye. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. There is an end to the word of God, enthroned in Ra's seat, lightening the girders of the world, soul. To me do ye reverence. To me come through tribulation of ordeal, which is bliss. The fool readeth this book of the law and its comment, and he understandeth it not. Let him come through the first ordeal, and it will be to him as silver. Through the second, gold. Through the third, stones of precious water. Through the fourth, ultimate sparks of the intimate fire. Yet to all it shall seem beautiful. Its enemies who say so are mere liars. There is success. I am the hawk-headed lord of silence and of strength. My nemesis shrouds the night blue sky. Hail, ye twin warriors, about the pillars of the world, for your time is nigh at hand. I am the lord of the double wand of power, the wand of the force of Kafnia. But my left hand is empty, for I crushed an universe, and not remains. Paste the sheets from right to left and from top to bottom, then behold. There is a splendor in my name, hidden and glorious as the sun of midnight is ever the sun. The ending of the words is abrahadabra. The book of the law is written and concealed. Aum ha. Now, I'm going to read the comment. And the comment is in Class A, just like the book of the law. It's the one that we just heard. Crowley was told that the comment would be easy, and he'd make swift and secure the pen. Well, here's how easy the comment is. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The study of this book is forbidden. It is wise to destroy this copy after first reading. Whoso disregards this does so at his own risk and peril. These are most dire. Those who discuss the contents of this book are to be shunned by all as centers of pestilence. All questions of the law are to be decided only by appeal to my writings, each for himself. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. Love is the law, love under will. It's signed the priest of the princes, Ankh of Nakansu. Crowley wrote, so you can appeal to the writings of Crowley, so you don't have to discuss things with other people who are just as confused as you are on the internet or something. Crowley wrote several commentaries on certain verses of the Book of the Law. These are very interesting. Oddly enough, the commentaries on the third chapter, he gives, quite normal comments on concerning how he's interpreting this as talking about meditative techniques of meditation and such. And for many years, several editions of what was published as The Law is for All, The Law is for All, were published and circulated widely and available quite cheaply. For some reason, and to tell you the truth, I'm not sure why, that publication has gone out of print, and the used Law is for Alls are rather expensive. You'll be lucky to find one for under $100. But still, it's very good, and if you can, and they're readily available. Really, if you care to get one. There's also a wonderful, wonderful early 70s hardbound edition called The Magical and Philosophical Commentaries on the Book of the Law. It's a hardbound text, and it's now going for over $1,000, but that's collector's prices. But if you can find a good copy, or at least in good condition, of The Law is for All until it's published again, and you're serious about Crowley's comments on the Book of the Law, I would suggest you go to Wiser Antiquarian or Amazon or eBay or something and get yourself a copy of. I wouldn't suggest you pay more than $100 for it or thereabouts. Anyway, that's that. Tomorrow we will get into talking about actually the rituals of Thelema, and we'll start with the Thelemic pentagram rituals. So we'll for the next, probably the better part of this week, be talking about pentagram rituals, traditional and Thelemic. So until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.